That we're on YouTube? I'll do.
Oh, going to the Yub Tub.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the news. Yeah, unless it's not working.
In which case,
welcome
anyway.
Yeah.
We're talking to ourselves then.
I'm seeing it come through the notifications. So I'm getting notified on YouTube and LinkedIn that
we're live.
that we just went live.
There's probably no one's probably watching because they think that we're off today.
It's not the right one though.
Is that off or is that off?
Yeah. So it's not the way that Ryan would set it up, where like people are waiting for it and it's officially the news and it's got all the good stuff on it. It's the way that Jason accidentally did it.
Oh, there you go.
There we go. People are flooding in.
How come I didn't see you at the conference, Hal?
Because I preemptively got sick. Like, rather than getting sick at the conference, the Friday before the conference, I was diagnosed with pneumonia, and my doctor said, "Don't get on an airplane." So I taught my class remotely, armed with a fistful of prescription medications.
Isn't that always the best way to teach a class?
I feel for you, my friend. There is nothing worse than actually teaching when you're sick, in my opinion.
So, but all's well that ends well.
Yes. I take it you're feeling better.
Yes, I am.
I'm trying to find my Discord so I can be obnoxious in the Discord channel too.
Yeah, so the chat's not going to work right, and nothing's going to work right, and Jason hasn't been trained properly. So let's just go with
man.
Well, you're just taking the blame before you get it. You're just like, you know what, you can't blame
preemptively.
me. Yeah.
Preemptively falling right on the sword.
And with that,
Wait.
I thought it would be a lot more like, and with that. Now what?
I was supposed to do something.
Welcome to the Black Hills Taco Bout the News with your sponsor, Black Hills. This is the first time that I have ever been the show host and had no clue what to say. I'm your man, Wade Wells, wading through your heart every day and night. Making us look good, kind of, is Jason Blanchard. He's trying his hardest out there, and we love him for it. Recovering from sickness. Hal, how you feeling?
I'm doing better.
Yeah, pneumonia's no thing. I got a shot in the butt once because of that.
No fun, man.
Not fun. Here to reset your Okta password, we have Help Desk.
Oh, that is correct. You actually sound like AI, Wade. I think
I sound too good.
Fake Wade.
I could do a radio voice. Let me see my shit.
Yeah.
Well, hello there. No, I can't do it. Never mind. The mustache.
I'll do it for you. Welcome to Talking About the News in a world.
Not too much, Sean.
Yeah, you went from deep to, like, broken.
Sheesh.
Did I break the podcast?
What's funny is, and Jason doesn't know this, usually we pick someone to do the host. We'll say, hey, who wants to do the host before the video? And what I thought was funny is a lot of times it hasn't been me. And what I thought was also funny is Wade just took it.
I purposely make sure I never get it. And I was like, you know what? I might as well dive in because I'm not focused on. I like it better when I'm in a corner and not like
I just
the
want to
primary.
say thanks, Wade, for taking that one.
You're welcome.
Nothing
We also
like
have
volunteering.
Alex Bluve are in the wonderful middle spot. Alex, are you X's or O's today?
What was that?
Never mind. I was doing a
It's
Hollywood
a reference.
Square.
I got you there, buddy.
Thank you, Hal. Thank you.
Yeah.
Joff yelling into the mic as usual.
I didn't yell. I was just
Calmly
trying to
whispering.
do my best.
If you like
radio voice.
ASMR, please follow Joff's YouTube channel for ASMR Cyber. It's some of the best I've heard in my life.
Only the best cyber.
Some of the best. BSD Bandit, as energetic as always.
Yeah, you know it. It's Magnificent Monday, folks. Hello. Ow! Get. Let's rock.
Wild West Hackenfest did not slow him down at all. He just
Wake me up.
got faster. And the lovely Ham Hacks. How are you today, good sir? How are you feeling?
My audio probably isn't working, but I'm here.
You're good. You're good.
No,
Oh, beautiful.
You sound fantastic.
Is
Oh,
anybody
thanks,
else,
Jason.
Anybody else under the weather from all the people in this week?
people?
No, just me.
What
Got
peopling?
sick.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Where
I'm the only one who peopled? Okay, never mind. I guess you guys are
What are
hiding
you
in the
talking
shadows the
about?
whole time.
For all those who don't know, can you tell us, Wade?
Yeah.
Last week was Wild West Hackin' Fest in Deadwood, one of the premier conferences in the United States.
The best.
It's very oh great, now I'm big, now I can't concentrate. It's probably one of the best cyber conferences you can go to. I think Graham put it the best, right? I am both tired and energized absolutely from that conference. I don't know how to take it. But if you did see me, I was dressed up as a secret agent, casually escorting out people from the con. It was pretty fun.
His alias was Meerkat. It was a
Meerkat.
thing.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was an amazing conference. Folks, if you listening, it's nothing like experiencing it live. The virtual is great, but if you can get out here live, I encourage you to.
Yeah. For some reason, I escorted out Dave Kennedy. Who would have known why? He was like 3 times as big as me. I was like, Dave could do all this himself.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
hold
did
back.
you really?
Troublemaker.
Because I
No
heard people
troublemaker.
talking. I heard people talking about how he had security detail, and they were like worried for his personal health. So maybe was it really? Was it just you?
It was me and Dieter. Yeah, we just like it was legit us. They asked us to go dress back up, and like we would like position ourselves before the crowd, and the crowd couldn't get to him. There was like one person who jumped in for a picture, and I was like, "Oh, it's too late."
That's pretty funny. It was all a joke because people were like, "Yeah, wow, something must have happened to him that he had to have security detail
there was
like that."
Some rumors that something happened to him.
Because when I saw him, I was standing by the Renzi's table. I was like, "Hey, Dave." He was like, "Hey," we got a quick hug. He was like, "Hey, I gotta go." And then
Yeah, I almost pushed you away. I was like, "You're getting too close, sir."
Was his talk why I need Wade and Meerkat to protect me?
One thing that really didn't like happen as well as I was hoping is I threw stickers in a majority of the swag bags that were base 64 encoded. And I didn't really hear about anyone decoding them because there was a CTF in it. So if you got that and you got to the YouTube link, make sure you get there. But
Congratulations.
Was that just a link to this restream, and that's how you get on the news?
Maybe it was a link to this restream if you got
That
one
would
of
have been a
those
good
stickers.
CTF, right?
Now we know the secret. Now we know the secret.
What
So
was
they
really
give it out to everybody.
It was the X-Files font, and what I didn't realize when I first did it is that the 1s and the L's in the X-Files font look exactly the same. You really have to like pay attention to detail. And I'm never gonna order 500 stickers ever again and not get them quality checked. So
hey, but all in all, it
Life's
turned
full of
out great.
yeah, very true.
One thing about Dave, if everyone could do me a favor, everyone listen to the podcast, you can do me a favor. Whenever you meet Dave Kennedy in person, please say, "I thought you would be bigger."
Man,
Wow.
What are you trying to get him on steroids? Is that what this is about?
He was big.
Man.
I thought he
You
was gonna
looked
be
bigger
smaller.
in the
I was
photos,
like, oh my
that's
god.
what I would say.
I saw him last year. I like walked up. I was like, "I thought you'd be bigger," and he's like, "Oh, God."
You deflated him with just that comment.
It's just that one. He's been working
He's
out.
only- he's
nonstop.
only
He
lifting-
hears it in his head.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's only deadlifting like 560 pounds. I mean,
It's probably got a picture of Jason on the wall somewhere.
I
Just
know.
like every time.
With his eyes are crossed out.
he's deadlifting enough that I think the next time that we see him, we probably should take him out to the parking lot and see if he can move some cars around by himself.
Oh, it's gonna happen.
Yeah, yeah, it's exactly.
Well, it's gonna happen.
By the way, it was an absolute thrill to see a whole lot of people I've never seen before in person, like Mr. BSD Bandit here, who actually played slideshow roulette with us and did a fine performance until someone came right behind him and did a rap and totally.
Yeah, but he
Obliterated.
didn't eat the cereal. He didn't eat the cereal. And they
That's
got
what
2
gave me
points.
the 8.
I did
That's what
2
gave me-
handfuls of that cereal, and it was just fine. It was just
Well,
fine.
in all fairness, or should I say all unfairness, we had one judge that was only giving 8s. Okay, I don't know what that was about, but
you got to have a thing.
Yeah, could you all let everyone who doesn't know what
Yeah.
cereal you're talking about?
So it was the 1989 Batman cereal that was sealed. I looked it up because I looked it up after I ate it. I got back to my room like in case I need to call poison control, and they're like, "What did you have?" And I'm like, "Okay, here I found some pictures of the box, but yeah, it was sealed like shrink wrap. It came with a little Batman bank."
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Malware Jake brought it
right,
in,
shout out.
right?
Yeah.
And the first thing he did, I sat down. I said, "Hey, Jake, how's it going, man?" He goes, "You want some cereal?" I'm like, "No, I don't actually. Not if it comes out of a 1989 box with Batman taped to the front of it."
So what did it taste like? I mean, 20 something years or 30 something years.
20.
later?
Yeah.
20.
30 something years. Yeah.
Imagine
Yeah,
like
man,
rotten
your time
milk.
is a little off.
40.
Like, no,
You throw it in
Closer.
your mouth and nothing happens, and then you take like one breath and it's like rotten milk. Like it's just like it's like a
Ew.
Tide Pod of rotten milk explodes.
A Tide Pod of rotten milk. Let's put that on the marketing
Wow.
material.
I wanted the
Yeah,
Gen
this is
Zers to
great.
understand what I was going.
Yeah,
I'm
thanks.
just like-
I do think of all foods as different forms of Tide Pods. Like pizza's just a Tide Pod full of cheese and tomatoes.
And grease.
So then, what do you put it for? Like the good food, though, are they all Tide Pods or?
Yeah, they're all Tide Pods. You gotta speak to the youths.
Got it.
So we did an episode of this live for those that weren't there or didn't check that out. It was pretty interesting doing it live. It's way different when you see the crowd in front of you. You feel way less likely to say things you probably shouldn't be saying on the internet.
Yeah.
Like we got on the topic of like Israel and stuff, and John's like, "Yeah, we can't talk about this. Let's just move on."
Oh, karaoke was amazing too, folks. Karaoke was awesome as well too.
Oh, I missed that. I was too tired. I went back to my room and
I just
packed
feel
my
like
clothes.
right now there's like 2,000 people listening to us. Like, yeah, we didn't go. We get it.
The
I
people,
feel
the
so
the
bad.
highlights
About
of
the news.
karaoke, I will describe. There was two for me. I also didn't say the whole night, but there was few highlights, some of which involved hosts on the show. So Ralph did Baby Got Back and absolutely killed it. I don't want to
Yes.
know. I don't want to know how much he practiced it because it was
He
flawless.
crushed it. Yeah.
He did every line in time. It was amazing. And then we also had some other highlights. We had Because I Got High, but remixed to cybersecurity. So it was like
That
it was like I was
amazing.
gonna patch that system, but then I got high. Yeah, so that one was good.
That's awesome.
And then there was some other
Shecky and
standouts.
Bronwyn like really belting out some great notes. Like,
Shecky had,
Yeah.
I mean, Shecky Bublé.
Shecky crushed it.
Yeah.
Shecky
yeah.
Bublé.
Oh, that is definitely his
Yeah, I mean, so yeah, Shecky has a voice like made for radio, I guess, or I don't know.
I was gonna
what you're
sing,
supposed
and
to
then
say.
I was behind him, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna go. I don't
he
wanna
was-
sing to this guy, like-
he was textbook definition of a tough act to follow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we had Shecky Bublé. We had but yeah, let's talk about the news. Isn't that what the show is supposed to
Yeah.
do? Or
Yeah, let's get to it.
Okay.
Someone's got to send me a link. What are we going to say?
What's Risky
Anybody
Biz?
have the news?
Let's cover Risky Biz first. I don't know what this is, but I find it funny that there's a news organization called Risky Business News. That some say that the dress code in the office is running around in your underwear and socks.
Is it risky? Is this like a pretty big podcast? Am I just wrong, or am I?
Yeah. No, I mean,
Yeah.
there will know.
Is it a Twitter thing that I just don't know about?
Yeah, I think it is. But I just know of it. Does that make sense? All right. Well,
So,
what
yeah,
is this
I mean,
about?
Basically, this mysterious APT compromises Asian government's secure USBs. That's the headline. This is based on research from Kaspersky or Kaspersky. I read this book on Conficker, and that's how they said Kaspersky. I was like, is that really how you're supposed to say it?
If it
but
isn't,
yeah,
that's how
so-
we're gonna say it on this podcast from here on out.
So anyway, spotted by Kaspersky, which is not in any way affiliated with Kaspersky. The attacks took place in early 2023. The security firm has not attributed the operation to any particular APT, which we can do on this podcast. We attribute things all the time. They've used USB drives as a way to distribute malware across Asia Pacific for the past several years. Basically, these are a specific type of secure USB drive. Is it the fancy ones that are like the metal keys? You know what I'm talking about? Like they're like the metal. They're secure because they're metal.
That would definitely entice me better if it was like a good USB drive. You're like,
titanium.
like 128 gigs. I'm like, all right, I'll pick you
The
up.
further down you go in the article, the further down you go, the more it gets paywalled. So like, at this point, I'm like reading through some weird CSS at this point. But basically, it's a secure USB, an encrypted USB. Basically, it looks like it's essentially a targeted device. So I guess it's kind of scary. Are there organizations that use encrypted USB drives as part of their like? Is that a thing? I feel like this isn't a thing. Is this common?
Yeah. So
it is.
I remember working for an agency, which I can't say on the cast, but we used to use something called the Iron Key.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, I
It was
remember
just,
those.
yeah, remember those? And they self-destruct if you got the password wrong for like five times. It would self-destruct.
Yeah. Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Like, isn't it pretty common to have like allowed USB drives that are encrypted for large corporations, or is that?
I don't know.
Like,
That's what I'm saying. Most of the companies
then
I
yes,
talk to are like, we have DLP specifically so that this doesn't happen. But I don't know.
So
you know
the
what
last
I
couple
heard?
places that I've been to always have a USB drives, but they're specified just for the organization. Like they can only be used. I don't know how they're fingerprinted, and then they're encrypted, so you actually have to. Like only certain people.
That's the whole thing. But I also heard if you put super glue in the USB slot, it makes your encryption stronger.
Oh, and faster.
I don't.
Faster.
I don't. Yeah, I don't think that. I think that would just be you're permanently installing that USB drive into your computer. Now it'll never come out.
You have to be so practical on me.
It's permanent. You're like, all right, this is encrypted, and now it's just part of my computer forever.
So we had a good customer that refused to allow his employees to use USB drives. So he did. That was part of that pre-deployment. They would just glue the USB slots on all the computers going out.
That's how you stop it.
Yeah.
That's how you how to piss off your users and influence people or something.
Yeah, something like that. Great love from your users in your.
Do y'all remember the USB killers? Like it sent like
Yes.
people shots.
Yeah.
Perfect.
It's one of those things you buy and then you're like, who am I going to use? When am I going to use this?
Who do
Like,
I hate the most?
Am I a
in the world?
jerk?
Exactly.
Who am I?
Turns out it's a better self-defense weapon than anything.
It forces you to like question who you really are at heart.
Talking about questioning who you are, you want to talk about Twitter?
No, let's talk about Okta.
Oh,
Wait, had to like,
Okta. We gotta.
You mean
mark
X,
off that
don't you?
bingo? We gotta mark off the
I guess
bingo.
okay, fine. We could talk about Twitter. What is this? The CIA thing?
Yeah. This is a quick one though. So
Also, it's called X. Excuse me. It's
I
called
was trying to
X.
figure out what X was that entire time of reading this article.
All right, so this is kind of interesting, but Twitter decided to do some URL shortening, and when the CIA posted a Telegram shortened link, what happened is that they posted it on their Twitter account. It shortened it and removed some characters. So then someone else registered for that account, and this is where you're like supposed to send, intelligence to the CIA if you like want to report something, right?
So basically, the URLs got messed up. The URLs linked to a non-existent Telegram. The person registered the Telegram and then started masquerading and basically being like, "Hello, send me PGP key, please.
Send me PGP key. And send me all."
And hilarity ensues.
Securely So it was supposed to be securely contacting CIA, which is a terrible link to begin with, and then ended up as
it's very secure.
securely cont.
Yeah.
And that doesn't sound like another word. Don't read into it.
Can we say it?
Basically, so this is an ethical hacker named Kevin McSheehan, who uses the online handle Pad. I thought it was iPad at first. I was like,
maybe one-time Pad.
This is his 15 minutes of fame.
He got it.
This is his
There's a
one-time
little bit of
Pad.
an Irish influence here.
So can we give him a D for effort?
Yeah, I mean,
No, I think he gets an X for effort.
yeah.
Yes.
But I think it is funny though when they asked Elon about, or did they sent the X, or Twitter press? They were like, "Hey, what's up?
Busy
with it?
now, please check."
Yes,
It beats the
busy
poop
now. Please check
emoji,
back
we
later.
suppose?
It's the poop emoji. Yeah, this is the caliber that this company is. It's poop emojis now.
No. That's whoa! We don't do fake news. That's conjecture. Okay, they're saying that those are the words of Connor Jones. That busy now. Please check back later. Beats the poop emoji. So that's their personal opinion.
So his personal thing. That he works for X, right?
No. He's saying I would have preferred busy now. Check back later to the poop emoji. But honestly, you could argue that the poop emoji might work a little better in this specific scenario.
Sorry, I misread that. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm sure in like a couple weeks they'll have downgraded to just the poop emoji.
Yeah,
that'll happen. Like that's it's on the road. It's on the road.
That's a joke.
People don't read. The emoji does it for you. It's like direct, right to the point. You don't have to read a sentence. I mean,
shouldn't it be like if it's gonna be emoji? If it's gonna say busy now, check back later. Shouldn't it be like a human and then a toilet and then the poop emoji?
Close.
That's way too much information. ham hacks.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't work for Twitter support, so I don't really know.
Or ham hawks.
Like.
I mean, none of us are really on X anyway, so like that.
What? I love X.
I'm on Twitter, not X, so I don't.
Oh, you didn't.
Is there an add-on? Is there like an add-on that rewrites all the branding back to how it was? Is that a thing?
I type in Twitter and it doesn't change.
That's called Mastodon. That's the add-on.
Being on X meant something different. But,
I have sock puppets on X.
Yeah. Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Oh,
of course.
Wow, leaks. That's a leak.
Yeah. Unless you're paying, then no, you're cool.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right, I have some good news for everyone that's running a water system. The EPA has withdrawn cyber audit requirements for water systems.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, not
I
so
wonder
good
what
for
brought
the
that on.
consumers of water, perhaps. but
Yeah. What brought it?
you manage a water system, good news.
Yeah.
Well, I personally cyber audit all the water that comes into my house. It's pretty easy.
You never know.
You ask yourself, you run through the threat model. You're like, okay, this is water. What digital impact can it have? Do not let the water touch any digital devices. Okay, then problem solved.
Oh,
That's right.
I put my water through a firewall. I thought that was.
You do?
Only this morning I poured water on my keyboard. I mean,
Were you cleaning it? Is that what you're? Is that?
Yeah,
That's right.
I think that counts as a cyber audit. Pouring water on your keyboard.
It got super clean. I poured some water on it. No smoke came out.
Oh, nobody will know what you.
So yeah, no one would have seen this coming. The EPA rolling back requirements. There was no targeted political campaign to defund the EPA or anything. That didn't happen. So yeah, basically, there's ongoing litigation between Missouri, Arkansas, and Iowa versus the EPA. Apparently, the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Eighth Circuit has ordered a halt of the memorandum's enforcement. So essentially, this is one of those things where organizations or the states are pushing back. They don't want this, and since it's in court, they are pulling the requirement for now. So,
well, I mean, it's a good idea, but it's an unfunded mandate, and the small providers are crying foul that they don't have the resources to comply. True or not, I mean this is basically posturing for some funding to help get this done. So,
right.
I mean, if the EPA really wants it to happen, the federal government's probably going to have to pony up some money to these smaller utilities to get it done, and or some expertise. So,
yeah, if you're a pen tester for the EPA, please let us know what that's like.
There's probably only one at this point.
Honestly, though, I mean, it comes back
You're just
to
underwater the whole time.
It's real easy. He's done. He's like, oh, there's no security. I'm done. I'm in.
It comes back to the CISA thing, though. Like I've talked about this with a lot of people. Like CISA is like the baseline for pen testing, right? They look at your stuff on Shodan. Maybe they run a Nessa scan. Like maybe if you're big enough or important enough, they do a real pen test. But I guess, does anyone know what the requirements were for the cyber audit? Like, can I just search the organization on Shodan, and if there's no RDP, then it's good to go?
Yeah.
No, but there's FTP, so
that's fine.
But that's required.
Telnet in.
That's authenticated. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Telnet.
They have MFA. Don't look behind the curtain. They have MFA.
Don't peek.
For water supplies, like I was trying to bring up in my head, like, weren't there recent cyber attacks where people tried to poison the water supply? And I'm like,
they did it so hardcore though. It was like, it was Florida. They did it so
Florida,
hardcore,
and it was an exposed RDP. I think, or VNC.
It was, and they did it to the point where it's like you would be insane not to tell. So it looked like someone was doing it in order to get attention to it.
It was like it was like a failed ransomware attempt or something like that.
Was it? I don't remember the ransomware.
I thought it was something like that. It was like, hey, I can. Yeah. Let's see. Super Bowl.
Kelly just threw the link into.
We've got a link. We're gonna get fish. Thanks, Kelly.
Yeah.
Yay!
I love your podcast, by the way, Kelly. Cooking with Joff.
Okay, I have that same link opened up already.
Oh look! Let me tell you, don't knock my Cooking with Joff podcast. It was
So this attacker attempted to adjust the level of sodium hydroxide, which I'm not a chemist, but I'm assuming that's bad, from 100 parts per million to 11,100 parts per million. So they tried to turn it to 11. That's the thing.
Yeah. Oh, good one.
I think dumping a whole shit ton of sodium hydroxide above limits into the water supply might just be poisonous.
Just maybe.
A vigilant employee saw the intrusion attempt as it was occurring and stopped it. So basically, this is the moment. If I'm the operator of this HMI or whatever we're calling it, I'm sitting there, I'm watching the old sodium hydroxide levels as one does, and I see the mouse starts moving, and I'm like, uh-oh, the mouse is moving, and I'm not moving it. Who should I call?
Thundercats.
Call someone. I like how in this news article, like the second heading is, "Could this attack have been avoided?"
And then here we are, like some years later, reading headlines about like the EPA withdraws their cyber audit requirement for water systems, and it's sort of like that doesn't seem like the response to these poisoning water system problems that we saw headlines.
Maybe they should just fix like the pipes before they get cyber, though, right? Like how many times have you hear a town that's like their pipes are all shit and like the whole Flint, Michigan?
That sounds expensive. I just looked on Shodan and it says there's no pipes on VNC, so we're good.
All right, so problem solved.
Yeah. So in this case, this incident in Old Mar, Florida that we're talking about, it was TeamViewer, which was basically remotely accessible.
What could possibly go wrong?
Close. I remember.
Hey, TeamViewer works great.
So, okay, I have a proposal for how they can do cyber auditing for these organizations. Here's what we do. We just call them up and we say, hey, I need to get to control the sodium hydroxide levels. How can I do it? And if they say just connect to TeamViewer, then they failed the audit. Like, that's all you got to do.
Oh, my God.
It takes 5 minutes per company. How many could there be? Probably like 1,000. I don't know.
Yep, we got it.
Oddly enough, I'm pretty sure somebody has said that. Yeah, just connect to TeamViewer and you should be good.
Just connect to TeamViewer. It's fine.
If you've ever pen tested a water treatment or a sewage treatment plant, you know that they're incredibly sophisticated with the deployment of their technology. That's tongue in cheek, right? I remember doing one once, and it shall be nameless, which outfit this was. But I said to him, hey, what's your wireless network like? Is it separated from your OT? You know, is it separated from your control network? And they're like, oh, yeah, no worries. It's air-gapped. I'm like, oh, air-gapped. I said, can you describe for me how that works? And he goes, yeah, let me show you. And he walks me into the back room. There's a Cisco switch sitting up there. He goes, at night, we take this red cable and we pull it out. And it's air-gapped. I said, well,
honestly,
what about during the day?
That's better security than a lot of places.
Yeah, no connection is the best.
It's actually pretty good. Good luck hacking them at night.
I said, what about during the day? He goes, oh, we need to monitor the systems during the day. We can't have it air gap during the day.
Wade, hit me with this. Yeah. Hit me with this article. I just read it and died laughing.
Okay. So we're talking about APT stuff here. We all know how North Korea really exports hackers, right? And they usually their APT groups usually hack from different countries. You can't hack from North Korea. There's like not good internet.
They only have like a /23 or something.
Yeah. So now instead of just exporting hackers, they're straight exporting IT workers. So when you're doing your background checks, make sure they're not North Korean. So there's individuals going out there. They'd have to be doing overemployed, right? Like
they're really
multiple
they're
IT jobs.
They're highly qualified.
Highly qualified. They know crypto real well, and they get hired at these jobs, and then they just send most of their paycheck back to North Korea to fund the nuclear missile program.
And they put
it's
lots
a win-win
of
for everyone.
Yeah. So there was a Darknet Diaries about this, right? Where they
I was just going to say that.
They primarily are living in China and Russia, right? And they're
getting hired at like U.S.
but they're
any remote jobs, right?
Not just VPNs. They're paying other Americans to use their internet to look like it's coming from a U.S. IP.
Hey, would you like the newest Kanye West merchandise? If so, please put a VPN on your home IP that I can connect to.
Yeah.
You know what I was thinking? What if they just this is going to be something I learned over the weekend. They just install tail scales on the user, that user's particular host, and then tunnel out via there.
Tail scales awesome.
It is awesome. Mm-hmm. Ralph told me about it this week, and now I have it installed on everything in my house. And,
nice.
It's working real well.
Are you a proxy for China or Russia?
Without a doubt, I'm a proxy for somebody.
Which country would you choose? Yeah, that's a tough choice.
I would like to go South America, right? Be a little mystery. Not a lot of South American APTs are well known.
I see. You're gonna start.
Brazilian,
You're in it for the food. Some good.
So they're saying
that would be great. Yeah.
That they're getting employed. right? And the FBI is like, no one's checking into these people.
Well, they're trying to.
That's
trying
the best
to.
thing, though. They're like doing it legitimately, at least. Like, okay, they probably are a vector in at one point, but if they're just working and they're actually doing a good job, at least like, okay, cool. Like,
who do you think I outsource all my IR work to? They're super fast because they've already been there and they know what happened. So
now we know where all the entry-level security jobs are going.
So
straight to
are we? Wait. So in this particular scenario, are they just working for free to send?
No, they're freelance. No. They're freelance.
They're like contractors, or they're just working for people, and actually they're just a job, and then just.
But they're sending all of that money back to
at least part of it. Some of it, right?
I think it's not just
if you're
about
working
the money.
multiple IT jobs, like, and
like
I know plenty of people out there
operation where like they hook them up with like the ability to do the work, but then they take a big percentage of the pay or something.
It's not just the money though. They also steal information and extol it back. They try to maintain access for future extortion schemes. I mean, this is like close to what happened to that one security company whose name is blank. I'm blanking on, but they got. This is how they got breached, where there was an account takeover of the new hire. It was a little different, but it was basically like employment breaches. Employment breaches are like a thing, right? Where either through taking over the account of a new hire or through trying to get actually hired on your own. We've seen this happen. It's terrifying. We actually talked about it in a previous episode. Like, how do you vet new employees? That you have to walk the line between making it not seem really untrustworthy to get hired there, like asking them to send a picture of their driver's license or something, which seems like a privacy concern, and also not hiring North Koreans accidentally.
Right.
But
I know there was someone who watches this podcast, someone we all know, that was interviewing IR people, and you could tell that he was saying you could tell that the interviewee was staring at his monitor so intently, and that someone was feeding him the answers to the questions.
Yeah, maybe the North Koreans are the only ones.
It was me. There's a reason I have like navigated around IR my entire career. I do not want to be called in the middle of the night.
so we need time limited questions, right? And we can ask, one of my favorite questions, which is, what is the leftmost bit of the 6 offset of the IP header? What RFC was written about it, and what year, month, and day, and who was the author? And you have 30 seconds to answer.
Well, I would not get
Steve Bellevin, April 100st.
1988.
Yeah, oh, hell, for the win.
1988, IRC.
No, Hal got
That's good for hiring that certain person that you're talking.
Hal.
You can hire Hal. No one else on the podcast got hired.
The great thing about that Evil Bit RFC is that Bellevin later got a serious email from somebody at Microsoft saying this won't work because the attackers will never set the evil bit on truly evil communication. Like, they totally missed the whole fact that the thing was a joke.
How could someone miss a really extremely complicated and nerdy joke? That's crazy.
So
we're living in different times, man.
Several years ago, we had Steve Bellevin on Security Weekly, actually, and he talked about all the feedback that he got after writing that RFC, and he actually had captured a lot of it in a little web page that he had himself or some intern build. So he had this whole list of like different comments that he got back. I really wish I'd saved that URL or took a snapshot of that page, but I totally forgot now. But it was a funny, amusing conversation about the evil bit and Steve's thing. And Steve's was a professor at Columbia, I think, now, and I don't know what he's doing. He might have retired by now, but anyway, good times.
Anyway, good guy.
So, you guys want to talk about Okta?
Yeah, we got to talk about Okta. Yep.
We got to drag him a little bit.
We've literally talked about Okta every week for the last like 16 weeks, so we can't break that streak.
They're the new Twitter.
We got to keep it going. So,
well, I wouldn't say the new Twitter until a billionaire buys them and starts running them into the ground.
Okta got breached using stolen credentials.
How ironic!
Ooh,
I know,
right up my alley.
They accessed files containing cookies and session tokens.
So Stealer logs. So they access Stealer logs.
Yep. To support management systems after breaching using stolen credentials. They were able to view customers. Blah blah blah. I guess what funny about this? Another identity provider, Beyond
Yeah. Right? Beyond Trust.
So this is like their
Cloudflare.
support.
Both.
This is the Okta support management system. So
Yeah.
this is a classic vector. We've talked about it a lot of times. Account takeovers using Stealer logs. If you don't read my blog, if you don't know what I'm talking about, but basically there's malware. It runs on people's personal computers. The data is synced between their work browser and their personal browser. Probably an IT worker at Okta had this credentials or cookies. Malware ran on their personal computer because their kid wanted to get Fortnite V-Bucks, and then now the threat actor has all the cookies and all that stuff. So it's they do. They feel the need in the incident to compartmentalize it and say that the support case management system is separate from production, but it's one of those things,
Check out the image I sent.
Got to have that MFA. Although if you get cookies, MFA doesn't do much, so there's that.
Beyond Trust and I guess Cloudflare was affected as well.
Yeah.
Good on them for actually detecting it too. Like that's
both of them
not something
detected it
you would normally
independently.
detect, right? That means.
Well,
that
if you
that
have
help desk, I
Okta, you
think,
should
had
detect
cookies
it.
on If you.
I mean, it's kind of true though. It's weird to think like what authentication does Okta use? Do they use their own?
So I know there's also that flag in Okta to allow Okta admins into your space, which should always be turned off, right? And
Oh, what could
there's a
possibly go
bunch of
wrong with
other
that?
stuff. I know. Oh, who would have guessed? I know.
So
Check.
it seems like Okta has a track record right now. So what was it? In January 2022, the lapses data extortion. They had a one-time password in August 2022. They have had a bunch.
Well, it seems like this might have also been like the other shoes to drop when they said like,
we can rate
post like MGM and
I didn't know that
Caesars.
happened here.
They said that there were like some other companies impacted, and they gave no further explanation from that. They're like, there's a couple other companies impacted. They didn't name them at all, and we're like, okay. I was sitting there going, there's got to be another shoe that drops here, and maybe it is that the other companies that were impacted was like, Beyond Trust and Cloudflare.
So we got to
How
address
dare
the
you,
elephant in the
Haircut
room.
Fish.
We're currently being attacked by Mr. Gerald
Haircut
Auger.
Fish is supposed to be one of ours, and he's over in Simply Cyber. I will not take this.
If we
lightly.
are
Someone ban him
taking
from
note
the
of
Discord.
everyone's names, and if you're here, you're going to get one full disagulation from Meerkat. Thank you for the viewers, Gerald. It was I did see you at our good old fest. I didn't say hi, but thank you for the eyeballs and messages. We actually pay per message. This is costing us a fortune.
Didn't Gerald win some award from What's Hacking Fest too?
He won the Raid You on Stream award.
Raid You on Street award.
I thought for real is that he won the Rito award, right?
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. All right. Right.
You know who else got hacked too? Which kind of weird because I didn't know they were still around. But Casio, did you guys hear about that?
What?
Dude, my calculator watch is popped. Are you kidding me?
Not Casio.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Oh man.
Here's the funny statistics. It says impacting customers in 149 countries. I'm like, who? What?
What?
Yeah.
You don't use the Casio smartwatch? Am I the
No,
only one?
I guess
No.
they
Okay.
Tracking my fitness?
ClassPad education platform.
I feel like this is one of those things where Casio actually so it's a Japanese conglomerate, which means they make everything. Like, do you need a piano? Yeah, sure. Oh, we have good pianos. Do you need a jet ski? We have one of those too. Yeah. So, okay, it says this is following the failure of a ClassPad database within the company's development environment. Customer names, emails, countries of residence,
ClassPad
service
is a
usage details,
calculator.
purchase, license codes. 91,921 items.
Listen, those Casio watches were the truth.
All right.
Oh man.
One time.
Did you notice the
Hold
fine
on,
print
it's
though?
a
The
calculator,
database, the newest record they found in the database was from January
2011.
2006.
Or 2000. I think it was 2011 based on the breach forums. But yeah, I mean it's old data apparently.
Yeah.
It's kind of this is the words of the hacker, so I mean apologies in advance. This DB is kind of old as hell, but believe it or not, this was done from a live RDS server today. If anyone wants AWS keys with some pretty juicy permissions, DM me.
DM me for keys.
And also, Casio spokesperson was trying to respond on their calculator watch, but were unable because there's only 9 numbers, so they were trying to type it out in hex. It was weird.
Oh, Corey, man, Corey, it's a lot more than you think.
It takes a while.
It takes
to
a while.
type all those on the calculator watch.
Tiny
Little
little
T9, so small too.
Casio, yeah.
If you had T9 on one of those watches, you could get going quick.
Yeah, no. If it had T9, you'd be fine. No, it's just like 0 through 9, right? And then like a little equals button. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's kind of a non-story, really.
It's annoying
Does
at
anyone
nighttime.
know what is Casio like? What do they actually do? Does anyone know?
They still make those little kitty keyboards, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but there's no way they're making like $10 billion a year on kitty keyboards.
No.
No, they make the G-Shock watch very popular.
Okay, it can't just be watches.
They got black.
I mean, that's their
call that?
niche. That's
What'd you
their
call that,
niche.
Ralph? Was that a jockstrap watch? Is that what you called it?
G-Shock.
G-Shock.
Oh, G-Shock.
I mean, on Wikipedia, okay, so here it says products include watches, calculators, electronic keyboards, digital cameras, film cameras, cash registers. Okay, now we're getting into money. Laptops, sub-notebook computers,
laptops?
electronic dictionaries. Those are really popular nowadays.
Did they ever make the Gigapets? Did Casio make Gigapets?
I don't know.
They also have
I don't know
medical
why I feel like they
devices.
did.
All the stuff on there, is this one of those things where like there is some scientific company that's paying like $10 million a year for like calculators and we just don't know about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we
got
just
them.
don't know.
They have like
They're
dermatology
very popular
stuff
in
too, though.
education.
Although I will say, I found this DH800 digital horn that's like a digital saxophone looking thing. That's definitely got to make you a
Oh,
little
that have to be a Casio.
I hope that my data wasn't breached and I'm outed that I actually have a DH800 digital horn.
Yeah.
That would just be weird.
That would be weird.
They have special cameras that
Yeah.
take pictures of your skin. That's their go-to
Yeah.
now.
Yeah,
The
Wade
That's
coming in with the
that- all right, Casio.
yeah with some medical devices here. Like Casio does.
Sorry about your breach.
Should we drag Cisco now? I mean, we did Okta. You
We
wanna
already
do
did
Cisco?
that.
Yeah, let's-
We did that last.
No, we haven't
Monday.
talked about Cisco. Talking about Cisco's
We
fun.
talked about.
We talked about Cisco live.
I don't think there's
Cassie.
anything new on Cisco that I know of. We already talked about that one.
Look, BSD Bandits pulled
Let's
out.
get the Casio.
pulled
let
up
me
his
Google
latest, his
Casio.
latest
Oh.
computer.
Yeah, you're. I'm looking at your data right now. It says you have 5 calculators, 3 digital assistants, 3.
Okay, I'm typing this down. It's not.
Oh, boy. Hey, BSD Bandit, you got to crank up the 300 baud modem first, dude.
Oh man.
Okay, let's talk about Ragnar Locker, which this is. Yeah, let's talk about that.
Oh, they're not ransomware.
Yeah,
least it
so this
sounds
is the
cool.
ransomware region of the internet. Looks like the Ragnar Locker's dark web extortion sites were seized by police. Basically, the Tor negotiation and data leak sites were seized on Thursday. International law enforcement operation. We've seen it all before. Basically, if you looked at either website now, it says that it has a seizure message, and that isn't epilepsy. It's actually like taking the servers. Basically, I guess this is, yeah, I mean, what is the Ragnar Locker? Let's see. They are launched in 2019. They are focused on corporate networks. They hit
They had a good
Capcom,
run.
I guess.
4 years, pretty good run.
I mean, do we
Okay,
just call
so it does
yet
seem
another
like they weren't a
ransomware?
ransomware as a service, though. They were more. Of
No,
a
they were.
private.
Oh no, yeah,
No, they're
no, I got
private.
you. They're not. They
They're not.
were, yeah, they were focused on. They were semi-private. They don't promote to affiliates. They're focusing on data theft.
It's
They
so
don't do
wild how big
encryption.
this
They just do.
industry is that like there's different like you're either like part of your own company or you're like part of like a product that you buy to do ransomware. It's
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah,
You guys
so
wanna
I
see
mean, I will
Sentinel-1
say
how to detect Ragnar ransomware.
the seizure of the website probably is going to have very little impact on the actual leakage of the data if they didn't get the actual people behind it, right? As we know, like if you take down my poster, I can just put up another poster unless I'm in jail. So
Yeah.
Tor is terrible for data breaches anyway. So I have to say I'm glad. I hope they move to torrents because it's a lot easier to get to, which obviously can't really take those down. So there's that. But
Torrent is like I call torrents like the neighborhood cat. They might go away for a little bit, but they always just keep showing up and coming back.
it's true. So yeah, their high
Talking
profile attacks are Energias de Portugal, Capcom, Campari, Falcon Jet, A Data, and the city of Antwerp, Belgium.
I'm just heard about Capcom.
Isn't A Data? Yeah, they're like the
A Data is like an SSD manufacturer.
SSD memory. Yeah.
Looks like they got one of the Ragnar Locker developers in France.
In
Looks like they
Paris,
arrested him.
France.
Yeah. Although he's apparently
let's
check.
look. We got to get the mugshots. I mean, come on.
Yeah, we got a perp walk.
Jason, pull it up.
Doot.
I don't know. I think Jason was distracted by all like the Casio ads that came up on that Ragnar.
Jason was like, "Oh, sorry, I was actually buying PDAs on eBay. My bad."
Yeah.
Yes.
It's my first day. I don't know what I'm hitting.
My first day.
Just Google Paris mugshot, and then the first thing that comes up, claim it was actually the attackers.
Oh, do you guys? After this, I gotta. flip
No,
this.
Ralph, we gotta stay on this. Yeah, hold on.
While you're up there, can you just order me a Trapper Keeper while you're at it as well too?
Okay,
That was
so a
pretty-
developer was arrested in Paris. This is on Dark Reading.
Uh-huh.
I'll give the link to Mr. Jason because he deserves it. He's a fantastic person.
Woo!
And let's see, this page isn't loading for me. Oh God, I've fished.
You're not
myself.
good enough for this page.
Here, I'll throw. Here's the mugshot.
You have been obliterated.
Wow, he looks vaguely familiar. I can't say where I know him from, but
That's okay.
I feel like if he grew a mustache, I would never know who it was anymore.
Right? Jason, click the link in the message and show that.
Wait, we need to see the true identity.
Yeah. Whoa! He looks very familiar.
He's got the lines behind him and everything. He's lining up with the shot. You know, he's
Isn't that like a
in your
SZA
networks.
awareness poster? I feel like I've seen it before. Yeah, so basically Interpol is taking down the group. We talked about the seizure of the things. They've also arrested some key targets who are allegedly they were arrested on October 18th. Basically, it's a developer. This is the targeted Capcom, as we said. Main leader, his home was originally in Czech Republic. I mean, the moral of the story is if you're part of a ransomware group, you do not want to be traveling to Paris. I know that like the bread, I know there's like croissant and bread and all that. Like it's not worth it.
Croissant.
A croissant.
Is it worth getting arrested for the croissant?
Hey, some people are willing to risk it all for anything.
That's true. I'd risk it all for a croissant.
Oh, croissant.
So, can we talk about?
We can
the-
talk about the
It
Flipper
does.
01.
So to wrap it up in a bow, it does say that all the members weren't arrested. So
They're still out there. The truth is out there.
yeah,
It totally is.
Shock advertisements in dark.
So we had speaking of the truth.
Speaking of the truth,
Wild West,
we don't know it.
We had somebody messing with Flipper Zeros, and this next story, which is they were DDoSing them.
Oh, we
yes.
know.
So
We
many.
know.
Oh,
We were
yeah.
at
Oh,
Wild West
yeah.
Hack and Fest.
Oh,
we
yeah.
know.
Yes. So, anyways, it's very annoying, and the only way to protect yourself is to go ahead and turn off your Bluetooth.
Yeah. So
This
we were
takes down
actually
This takes on the phones pretty quickly, right? Like
we
I
were
don't have
seeing
an- I
this
don't have
happen
an
at Wild West Hack and Fest. John Strand had to get up on stage and say, "Stop being mean to each other and be nice to each other," because that's
Be nice,
our,
kids.
Our motto. Basically, if you put a custom firmware on a Flipper, you can do an attack called BLE spam, and there's something called lockup crash, which I mean I feel like is pretty self-descriptive. It does this with the latest iOS 17.0.3. This is that stupid convenience thing where it's like, oh, you bought a new Apple TV and turned it on. That's really nice to be able to just connect to it. But then if it happens enough, it obviously causes crashes. So, I mean, this is why we can't have nice things, of course.
It's real fun though. I did it to my wife. It was pretty.
Oh,
funny.
I have that set up, and I mean, my phone was one of those that got crashed while I was Hagging Fest. It wasn't fun. Like I was in the middle of like trying to solve a problem and help, and I'm like, yeah, I know if I turn off Bluetooth, I'm defend against this, but I need Bluetooth to currently work this problem I'm trying to do. And now my phone it locked, and you can't do the reset. So I'm like, okay, I gotta like wait a little bit of time until I can actually just put it into kind of a recovery mode and hopefully get everything back.
How long did you have to wait? Isn't it like particularly long too? It's kind
I think I had to wait like 2
it's
or
not a
3
short
minutes.
amount.
It's not
It's only 3 minutes. Someone did it to us on Monday, or Monday or Tuesday, the first day we were there, and took out like 7 iPhones, like all at one table. And there's only like 20 of us in the room, and I was like, all right, who the heck did it?
Yeah. Like somebody was doing too much during the conference.
So what we should need to do for next year is have a fox hunt where whoever has a flipper doing this attack, you hunt them down and steal their flipper.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean it transmits that information. Like I was told when I was setting those up for like the earlier spam ones that would just like spam message. They're like, you got to be careful because that sends out like the information as to what your flipper name, flipper details are, and anybody worth their salt are going to be able to like figure out who sent that.
Yeah, a spectrum analyzer, and I mean not even that, but even like a hack RF or something. You could rock this down. You could directional find, dude. You like if something's transmitting like that, you could just walk them down and be like, you're right here.
Yeah.
I can detect it with an iPhone because when my iPhone breaks, I know it's happening.
Oh, this is a good thing.
You know they're close. Right? Who's got a flipper?
Yeah, well, if you get a flip, can a flipper detect that? Could you set up a flipper to detect the
That'd
flipper?
be funny. It's like a buster.
Is this the new version? Is this the hacker version of going through a tunnel? It's like, sorry, someone's flippering me. I have to go. Bye.
Totally got to use that on the next phone call with John.
So
I gotta go. Team flippered.
Yeah. I've been flipped.
Apple TV. I'm getting DOSed. Sorry. Bye. Someone just commented in the restream, and here, this is the entire comment. The cat turd site is pretty cool. I don't know what that means, but
I want to know what that means.
Thank you for your contribution to this show.
All right. Well, you're free to contribute memes though if you're feeling creative because we love those.
Okay, do we want to talk about WinRare again, or do we want to finish up with the U.S. government releases popular phishing technique, which just sounds amazing? It's like the government phishing technique.
I got that headline. I vote the government story.
Govy. I vote Gov.
Okay, this is a website, cybersecuritynews.com. Don't know if it's reputable, but the post is from the government, so it must be reputable. And it starts off with explaining what phishing is, which is great. If you don't know what that is, I don't know how you made it to this show. Basically, hackers pretend to be someone you trust. What is this?
I think this is an AI written news article that we asked for at Way West Talkin Fest.
This is so bad.
This is it.
Oh, man.
This is like the shitty article we asked someone to send us.
Somebody let ChatGPT off the leash.
What is happening? Phishing with malware. This is a phishing attack. This isn't AI. AI is way better than this. This is like minimum wage. Like,
you know those remote jobs?
We've been punked. We've been punked.
So wait, okay. Did the government actually? Is this whole site just like a fake? Like, is this a fish? Oh no, here we go. Hold on.
Domain?
There's actually a PDF. CISA did release a PDF. This is just a crappy like write up of the PDF. And it is, so I'm reading through it now. So it's basically like a summary of how phishing works, and it's much more in depth than the article would lead you to believe. It's kind of just like a generic guide on how to not get phished. So I would say great resource. We'll probably put it in the links that we provide in our pen test reports. And yeah, I mean, it's just like basically. CISA has a way recently, this happened with the CLOP breach, where their write-up was just perfect. Like, it had all the information you would want, the IOCs, the timelines, all that stuff. So whoever's doing technical writing at CISA, you are killing it. You deserve a raise. So, yeah, this is just another great little thing you can forward to people. I will find
the end of it just filled with wonderful links.
And you could also say you probably deserve a job with somebody other than the government. I mean, just let me throw that in there.
They're just chilling, Joff.
Hey. They're overworked and underpaid.
Waiting for that retirement, all right? That pension, just...
If you put your 40 years in, yeah, it's fine.
40 years, that's it? That's all you got to put in? It's
40
years?
I think it's like 20, but
I don't know.
What do I know?
Most,
I work
most
for the
government
government, I'm
agencies,
not even-
I know this because I used to work for a government, a state government. 20, 25, 30. Those are the
You worked for North Korea?
Still does.
Works.
Still does.
That's exactly it. He's got 2 jobs, everyone.
Overemployed.
Now, by the way, they've got 4/24s. They're rocking in the free world, man.
Oh wow.
They got
That's
way
a lot
more
than I thought
VPN.
they did.
I wonder if
Okay.
they read.
Should we finish off with a depressing article about privacy? The
Sure.
Selfie-scraper. Did you all see this?
No.
So there's a company called Clearview AI, which just sounds sketchy, and I think we've talked about it before. But
Anything
basically,
that says
Clearview
clear.
AI won an appeal against a privacy sanction, which is imposed by the UK. So essentially, in May 2022, the ICO issued a formal enforcement notice on Clearview, basically saying that its selfie-scraping firm had committed a number of breaches of local privacy laws. They ordered the company to delete information on U.S. citizens. Clearview AI then appealed it and said, nah, we're totally allowed to do this. And essentially the tribunal did agree that they were allowed to be doing it. So it's like a GDPR thing, GRC, I'm throwing a lot of acronyms out. This is like a government thing, but I guess from a privacy perspective, their argument was our foreign company provides service to foreign clients using foreign IPs in support of public interest of foreign governments. So it's kind of one of these international things where it's who is allowed to scrape people's selfies. I guess they basically were allowed to say, as long as our customers are in the UK, we're allowed to go after the UK. So
Is this why I was able to go through all of customs with just looking at a camera and not even showing my passport? You think? Partially.
Well,
no one else is
I mean,
that was after they asked you to put your pants
they
back on,
scraped
though,
that
right?
selfie that you sent in chat.
Yeah, I mean, they're like,
when you
he's got a
posted,
mustache on. He's not the
That
bad
the
guy we're
mustache
looking
is going to
for.
throw the
Mustache
AI.
threw it off.
AIs
When
can't
you-
do
For
mustache.
me.
yeah, when you posted that selfie, that got scraped, and now you're in a database. And
man.
I'm in so many more databases. It's probably that's.
You
that's
know, I
just
think
the
I think you're right. You're right. That the porn stash is the ultimate defense. I mean,
the ultimate.
defense against what?
The dark
Women.
art. Thank you.
My wife loves this mustache. All right, how dare you?
ever getting a date in your whole life?
So I guess honestly, the only moral of the story is don't take selfies. I guess because they're allowed to scrape them now.
If you're in the EU,
Do you think
Wait.
they have like a fancy British name for selfies?
yeah, an Ussie.
Maybe.
Oh no,
Yeah,
What is it?
Ussie. Oh yeah, that's from yeah, I know.
Ted
Ted
Lasso.
Lasso.
So there's
Yeah,
one
I
problem
see.
with that, Corey. We have an entire generation of people that are somewhere around 20-something years old that have been taking selfies for years.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know about anyone else, but I've seen more older people taking selfies than younger. Is it just me?
Well,
Younger people just set up a camera and then dance in front of it. That's completely different. Not a selfie.
okay. So they're TikToking and we're photo popping. Okay.
Yeah.
Hey,
Don't
right.
don't tell me nobody here didn't put their picture on hotornot.com. Come on, that was like.
Is that
a
an
classic.
AI site
that-
that tells you if you're
Yeah.
hot?
You never went
That
to
is an
hotornot.com.
old deep cut.
I hope
That is an old-
it's hasn't been. So wait, now we have to go back on Wayback Machine and find like 16-year-old Wade and see what kind of ratings he got.
Dude, I did
Oh,
not
my
get a good
goodness.
score. You
My
can probably
immediate
find
thought
it.
is now BSD Bandit has the next two starting lyrics for his next slideshow roulette rap that he's going to have to put together. You got to have to raise the game.
I gotta rap my way to victory.
That's right.
Okay, so just let's do a live demo on the show. What could go wrong? Let's go to Clearview's website, put in the picture of Wade, and see if it finds hotornot.com.
Did you see what Haircut Fish put in the Discord chat?
No, unfortunately.
Don't.
Don't.
Wow.
Okay.
I feel like before this goes further off the cliff, we probably
Oh,
should
it's headed there.
Yeah.
I'm signing up for Clearview right now. Wade Wells name. Let's see.
Hot or
Agency. Wade, where do you work? I need your email. I'm just kidding.
Wade Wells at CIA.gov.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Just try it. See if it works.
I thought it was Wade Wells at Casio.jp.
Yeah. Don't forget to turn on the modem, BSD Bandit. Don't forget.
Yeah, yeah. Hot or not.
Where's the any key? All right. Time to end
No,
the
it
show.
does work. I just don't have it connected to the TV right now.
Yeah, let's burn this down with fire.
Jason, roll the finger. Let's get